Hey guys, what's going on? Hermdo back with you. It's a beautiful spring day. I'm in my backyard enjoying the sunshine and the birds singing and these Marlboro Reds. Marlboro. Can't pronounce that word ever. I've been smoking for so long. You'd think I'd learn how to pronounce that word. Used to call them the cowboy killers. But yeah, I made a video a few days ago called Called Off Work, and basically it's just funny to me how I can spend hours like recording and writing and editing videos and they get barely any views, but something I shoot out in my backyard just on a whim that I don't even edit, that I just straight upload to YouTube, gets like a ton of views and a ton of comments. But some people, most of the feedback I get is positive on the video. But I had a few people call me a big baby, a big pussy or whatever for not for complaining about my job, for taking a day off work and all that shit. Man, look, you have the right to complain. If you don't like my content, that's fine to me. But it's just like all this advice from like older generations, I'm a millennial. I kind of learned that a lot of like advice from like boomers is just kind of not really worth listening to anymore. It's out of date, out of touch. And I don't hate boomers or nothing. I think boomers get a little too much hate. I don't want to be this big. I mainly say that because I don't want a bunch of angry 60-year-olds called like deplorable Barbara in my mentions, calling me a pussy or whatever. I just don't feel like dealing with that shit right now. But basically, it's just, for me personally, I'm sober now. I wasn't sober in the last video. I had a couple of pops, and I figured, what the hell, might as well just rattle one off there, and it turned into this big thing. But basically, as far as my life goes, I can't complain too much. I am working. I got a job. I got a roof over my head. I got a car. I'm not making much money right now because they've been cutting our hours. But it's just one of those things. I can't control it, so I'm not even like freaking out about it. I got an interview tomorrow at this other place. Hopefully that goes through. We'll see what happens with that. Maybe it'll suck. Maybe it'll be cool. But, you got to be more, like when you're searching for jobs, like if I had a piece of advice to offer, you got to be selective when it comes to jobs. Sometimes you can't be. You just got to take something right away because you got bills to pay. But if you're in a position where you're looking for a new job, investigate it as much as you can. Read reviews. If you can somehow contact old employees or old managers there, ask them what the culture is like, and during like the interview, ask to like see the shop floor. Just ask like the interviewers, like, hey, well, what's the culture like around here? You might not get the most straight answer, but you can kind of tell, how a place is. I've been to places before, and when I was on these interviews, and the places just looked dirty. The people looked miserable. It just looked like a really shitty place to work. Most of the work I do is in manufacturing, like machine shops and stuff, and you can just tell like the difference between a good shop and a bad shop. And, some of these places you go into, you can just tell by people's body language that they're not happy there. And it's just like, I don't want to mess with that stuff. But the job I got now is good. It's good, because I remember going there. It's a small shop, a small crew. I mean, I've offered to jobs in these big, like, warehouses, these big, like, massive shops, and it takes forever. I mean, it takes forever to walk around the place. It sucks. They give you, like, a 5-minute break halfway through the day. By the time you walk outside and light your cigarette, the break's almost over. It sucks, man. It sucks. But this shop is small. You can walk across it really easily. And, for a guy like me, my foot's kind of messed up, so I got to watch out. And that's the thing when you get older. Another piece of advice I wanted to give is always take care of your body. Always take care of your body. I didn't, and I'm kind of paying the price. I'm a big fat guy, but I got back problems. I got problems with my feet. I got problems with, blood pressure and hypertension and shit, because I didn't take care of myself. I was a lazy fuck. Now I'm getting in the gym, trying to go every day, hit the treadmill up, hit the weight benches up. And, I'm not going to be, it's working a little bit. I'm losing some weight here and there. But, my diet's still not the best. I still drink too much of this shit. This shit will kill you. But I usually drink the 0-calorie stuff. And every once in a while, it's just like, I need that sugar, baby. I need that high fructose corn syrup. Come on, baby. That's the thing about being an American. Everything we eat is so fucking unhealthy. But take care of your body. Be selective about where you work. What other advice can I give to you guys? Kind of appreciate what you have. like, I know life might suck sometimes, and you might be in a bad spot. You know, I've been in bad spots before. I remember this one time I got laid off from this job, and the company, it was through a hiring agency, and I remember the hiring agency was like, oh yeah, they don't need you anymore, and they told me that it was just because they ran out of work, you know. But it turns out my boss told unemployment that I had been fired, which was bullshit. And I wound up not being able to collect unemployment for a month. I had no way of making money. I was going on interviews left and right. I had no money coming in for like a month. And I don't even know how the hell I got through that, honestly. I mean, I had some help with my dad. I worked a couple odd jobs here and there. I cut some lawns and shit. But I still just... But man, back then, I mean, if you're working right now, you know, dude, even if it's a shit job, you should still be grateful. I mean, if you're struggling with paying the bills, I know what it's like. But if you got a roof over your head, man, just appreciate what you got, man. Because I mean, if you got a family in your life, you can get help from your parents or your family members or even your friends. Be grateful for the people in your life that can help you out when you need it, and don't be too proud to ask for help. I've had to ask for help a lot of times. You know, I've been, man, I know that there's like a term in Alcoholics Anonymous where it's like you hit rock bottom, and I think I've hit rock bottom a couple times. Not due to drinking, of course, but drinking didn't help. You know, all the ways we cope, like these fucking cigarettes, man. That's not healthy. I fucking like this thing. But man, just the one thing, all the ways we deal with stress in America, it's just like you have to find like a healthy way to deal with stress. What I've been doing is, you know, I go for walks, I go to the gym. You know, some days I just sit and I just lay down for a little while, if you can. You know, some days you're at work all day and it's tough to do, but find a healthy way to like unwind without using like drugs and alcohol. Try to stay sober as much as you can. It's hard for me sometimes. I go through periods where like I won't drink a drop of beer for like 2 weeks, and then one weekend I'm getting like drunk every hour. You know, it's not good. You know, I'm cutting down on the alcohol. I'm cutting down on the shit. Believe me, I know. But there's a lot of improvements I can make. But you got to be honest with yourself too. You know, you just got to be like, you know, am I doing this? You just every once in a while you get these like moments of clarity, like, oh, I'm doing nothing but eating junk food. I'm doing nothing but drinking this sugary pop. I'm doing nothing but smoking weed. And you get these like moments like, oh fuck, get that guilt, you know, coming at you. But don't just like dismiss it. Be like, I mean, don't like panic about it. Don't like freak out about it. But just be like, okay, this behavior I'm taking part in right now is bad. I got to work to fix it. You know. But I don't know. It's one of those things. It's easy for me to fucking say, you know, but it's something people struggle with all the time. But you know, find a healthier way to deal with stress. You know, don't get mad. Don't go on the internet. Sometimes you just got to stay the fuck off the internet. Find a way to like cope without drugs and alcohol. I got this stuff that Twinings, whatever you call it, sleepy time tea. I have a cup of that when I go home. Mix some honey in there. It's really good. I sit down. I just watch the television. Sometimes I'll turn on a podcast or something. Just like no political shit. Nothing that's gonna make me angry. You know, because you start to recognize when you get to a certain age, like, why am I watching this? You're just like taking part in your own like angry like expression or whatever you want to call it. I don't know the right fucking terms to use. I'm a fucking dummy. I dropped out of college. What do you want me to do? But just like you're making yourself angry for like no reason about shit. That's the thing. You got to let go of some shit, you know, about your hang-ups and stuff. You got to recognize when you're in like a certain mood, and you got to be like, okay, what can I do to bring myself out of this mood? Do I have to talk to somebody? Do I have to do this and that? And I'm not saying like recreationally smoking a little bit of weed is going to hurt you long term. I'm not going to say like having a beer once in a while is going to hurt you, but you know, just recognize like if you're overdoing it. I know people that smoke weed. Me trying to get away from weed, I haven't smoked that shit in years, but like my family members smoke it, my coworkers smoke it, my friends smoke it. It's hard to get away from, you know, just like you just want to chill. Someone busts out an eighth and you're just like, oh man. So, and this is not like some anti-weed PSA. If you like smoking weed, God bless you. Personally, I think that shit should be legalized across the board. I think it does have medicinal benefits and whatnot, but, you know, just don't recognize when you're using something as like a crutch. You know, some people's crutch is like anger, just getting really mad about shit. And you can't be doing that either, because, you know, take it from a guy who has high blood pressure, and believe me, I get mad about the dumbest shit imaginable. I get mad about all sorts of stupid shit. And it's usually stuff beyond my control. It's stuff, you feel like you're being manipulated sometimes. Just like somebody online gives you like a terrible story about some horrible crime happening, or some injustice, or some fucked up shit. And you just sit there, you read it, you get really mad, and you got no outlet for that anger. So, to calm yourself down, you use like drugs and alcohol. And it's a bad system to get into. But the reason people post this shit online is just to drive engagement. It's just like, here's something that should anger you. Here's something you could do nothing about. Subscribe to my newsletter. Subscribe to my podcast. Subscribe to my Patreon. Subscribe to my YouTube, whatever. I try not to do that stuff. I want to be more of I try to be positive. You know, I try to be an uplifting person. I try to not be a dick, basically. And I want to be somebody that brings positivity to other people. I don't want to be like a negative person to bring people down, like that one video I made. I don't remember what the hell I even called it, but, you know, like going to that party, having that girl tell me I was fishing for compliments and shit. That fucks with me. And I don't want to be that kind of person that's bringing negativity all over the place. And sometimes you got to deal with negativity, but you got to find a better way to do it. You know, don't become some weird ideologue and embrace some fringe political shit. You know, I consider myself a little bit of a lefty in some ways, but I'm not like some nutty commie weirdo. I got a couple right-wing beliefs too, but I don't want to get into all that shit right now. But it's just like, you know, find a balance that works for you. And, you know, people just try not to be led astray by these people online, and even like people you meet in real life. I've heard some ignorant shit coming from people, you know. You sit, not to rag on the boomers again, but it's just like, there's a bar right next door. I go there sometimes, have a Budweiser, watch the Tigers lose, and, you know, you hear these boomers talking about, oh, the woke people, oh, the young people, oh, the gays, the immigrants, and they're just going on and on. Just old, like, 60-year-old white guys with, like, you know, just with their privilege. I hate to use that word, but you just see stuff and you just kind of want to tell them, hey man, just shut up about that shit. Who cares? But whatever. Let people believe whatever they want to believe. You know, I don't want to get in confrontations with people, but it's just spilling over now. But I just be positive. Like when I see people talking like that, it's just like, I'm not trying to get into an argument with people. I'll try to change the subject. I'll try to be talking about something else. You know, something that's not political, something that doesn't anger people. Just try to be chill. I'm trying to chill. I'm trying to take the chill pill. I dumped all my SSRIs down the sink. I flushed them down the toilet. All that stuff. I'm only taking the chill pill now. So I recommend you all do the same. Thanks for listening to me ramble for a while. But hopefully you take some of that advice to heart. This is just me, 38-year-old fat guy living in the Midwest. You know, just everyone's trying to find ways to cope with the world, because it's shitty out there for a lot of people right now. But don't let it get to you. Find good ways to cope with it. Don't give in to, like, anger. Take care of yourself. You know, don't let shit get you down. Be grateful for what you have. And, you know, work to limit the stress in your life. And if you got to talk to somebody about it, if you got to seek help, don't feel guilty or bad about it. So, that's all I got for you guys for right now. I'll have more shit later. But, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.